Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Subject Computer Application for 12th Standard C section. Last class we completed chapter 8. Now we are going to start new chapter 9. This is the last chapter of PHP, chapter number 9, connecting PHP and MySQL. In this session, we are going to cover connecting PHP and MySQL, MySQL functions in PHP, database connection, managing database connections, performing queries, closing connection. Let's start our class. So, connecting PHP and MySQL. Of course, in chapter 3, we'll learn how to use MySQL, where we store different types of data, where we create different types of databases and use different commands like create database, create table, insert table, update table, delete, drop, alter, and many more commands are learned in chapter 3. Now, in this chapter, we are going to use how to learn how, how to connect the databases of MySQL and with PHP. So because data is very important for all users in computer as well as in internet, numerous growths of data need a secure and convenient environment to store. So many RDBMS softwares are used for storing different data like RDBMS software, MSQL, Oracle, IBM DB2, Microsoft SQL Server. These databases are connected with programming languages and perform insert, select, update, delete option using SQL commands in PHP. In this chapter, we are going to see how to give SQL commands to MySQL database using PHP scripting language. So, for connecting MySQL function in PHP, there was some special functions and which was introduced in version 5.0.0 in MySQL I extension contains the following important functions which are related to MySQL databases connectivity and management. The functions are MySQL I underscore connect, MySQL I underscore close, MySQL I underscore select underscore DB, MySQL underscore affect underscore rows, MySQL I underscore connect and errors, MySQL underscore fetch underscore associate. Now in this class we are going to see how to connect, how we are going to use these functions for connecting MySQL database. So very first we are going to use a new function MySQLine underscore connect. This function consists of three attributes: server name, comma username, comma password, comma DB name. So DB name means database name. Server name means a database server IP address. Username means database server username, and password is database server password, and DB name is database name. So first we try to open MySQL software using WAM, which we already used to create in chapter number 3. So go to WAM server icon, select MariaDB and select DB console, MariaDB console or MySQL console. So here we want to enter valid username. So username is root and press OK. After that, MariaDB command open and you ask for a password. Enter password. There was no password. That's why you press enter. After that, you can see MariaDB prompt is open. So to view different databases, we use the command called show databases. So here you can see different databases. So in these databases we use STUD, that is student databases. So use student databases. So database name is STUD. So here show tables, where we can use different tables, namely STU1, STU2, STU3. So select asterisk from STU1. So this is the table which we are going to view in PHP. So we are accessing these data of STU1 from database name STUD, username root, password is nil, and server name is localhost. So these are the four important things which we want to give to this MySQL I connect function. That is server name is localhost, username is root, password is nothing, So we can leave blank and DB name is STUD, and we are accessing the table STU1 which we are going to give in query command. First we try to create a connection, after that we try to give queries. So for creating connection to this database, we created a file namely demo22.php where we use this function for creating a connection to that particular file. So now I am going to open the notepad file where we use the mysqli underscore connect function in demo22.php file. So PHP file is stored in WAMP server folder in www. So open the file demo22.php. So here you can see PHP code is written. We declare four variables: server name, username, password, db name. So server name is localhost. Of course, this is the localhost. This is not an internet connected database. If you are using a internet connected or local network, a local area network connected database, then here in the server name we should mention the IP address. After we want to mention the root username, the default username is root, and there was no password, that's why we leave blank, and we are going to use the database stud. After that we use the function. So we create another variable .conn connection where we store all the connection data. So mysqli underscore connect function is used here. We pass four arguments for this function: server name, username, password, db. After passing the data required arguments to that function, they all the required argument we pass to the database, that is MySQL database, to this database, and if the connection is correct, then we'll get the result connected successfully. Here we check the connection variable. If the connection variable is not produce any good result, it means it is false. There was if there was any error, then this condition becomes true. That's why we use the operator not operator. If connection is not available, then display connection failed mysql dot and underscore connect error. This function will give the error. What is the exact error happen when we are trying to make connection using this? So when we try to open this file in our local host, WAMP server local host, that is file number demo22.php, you can see the error message or the connected successfully message. It depends upon this connection and the value which we given in this variable. So first we try to open demo22.php. So here you can see the result is connected successfully. So result is connected successfully. It means all the data are correct. For example, if you give the password 123, there was no password, but we give the password as 123, and we try to open the demo PHP file. Here you can see connection failed. This message is displayed because as per program we try to check the connection. Here we check the connection and we produce the result connection failed, and with this function mysql underscore connect, what is the exact error is access is denied for the user root at localhost using password is yes. So it means there was an error in password because for root user there is no password, but here we entered password as 123. So this is the error. So we simply remove this 123. After saving the file, when you refresh the PHP file, you can see connected successfully. In the same way, if you make any mistake in host name, for example, localhost is the for default name, but if you or localhost 192.52.25, this is the IP address, maybe look like this. So when you try to connect the localhost, you can see connection file php network get address. The get address failed. No such host is known. So this is the error in host. So we want to correct the host. So depending upon the error, this function, the mysql underscore connect error, will give you necessary information. If there was no error, then it will simply create a connection. So the connection is created. That's why we get the result connected successfully. After forming the connection to this database MySQL, so here we actually, what we do, we create a connection between PHP and MySQL. Now when we try to open the performing queries, so for that we are using a special function in PHP called mysqli underscore query, where we want to use connection object with a first argument. After putting comma, we want to set this SQL query. So this is explained in demo 23.php. After accessing query, if you want to close, then we can close mysql underscore close, and we want to mention the connection object here. The in this file, connection object is conn. So this is the object where we store the connected data. So now we are going to open demo 23.php, where we try two functions. One is query, another one is close. So here we know server name, username, password, DB name. So here the object is connection, where we connect the database. Here we connect the database, and here we check the database connection by using the if condition. If mysql underscore connection error, if there was any error, then it should show fail to connect to mysql and also the error. So we just rechange some coding. This is up to our choice. Next we declare another variable where we store the SQL statement. So SQL statement is select asterisk from stu1. That means we are going to view all these data of this variable stu1 table stu1. So here we want, so from this database we are accessing all the datas in MySQL and display on the screen. So that's why we write this command in this here, and after that we create a query. We pass the query result to the variable, namely object result, where we store all the datas which are retrieved by this query are stored in this variable result. So after that we create another data object called rows, where we store number of rows from this result. So all the table data is accessed and stored in this variable result, and by using the result object we calculate number of rows and store in the variable rows. So these are the three variables. So first variable SQL statement to store the query, second result to store the result of the query, third row to store the number of rows by using the function mysql underscore num underscore rows. So here we want to pass the result object of query. After that we check the rows, if underscore dollar rows. So while rows is equal to mysql underscore fetch underscore array, this is the another function, fetch array. It means we are going to access each and every row from the table and display one by one. So for that we check the row, number of rows is stored here, and we are going to current row name is current row name is calculated by this function fetch underscore array. So we check both the variable row and current row. So we access first row and display the first data: admission number, exam number, student name, gender, age, city, pin code, surname, father name. All these data are stored in this table. So we access all this data, and we store the all data. We access all the data by using their original name. So this is the original name. So here, so just a minute. So here you can see this is the original name which we use in the table, ADM, admin number, exam number. So for accessing each and every column piece of data we use here. So row, so this is the row which contains all the records. Row admin number, row exam number, row name, row gender, row age, row city, row pin code, row surname, row father name. We access all the columns. So the data which is mentioned here, it is up to our format. We can give whatever we want here. Admission, we can give admission number, we can change anything we want. So after fetching one by one each and every record and displaying the data, the loop will run till the last row. After that, the loop terminates. So here the loop starts, and each and every time loop tries to access all the data, all the records one by one, and display on the screen with this format which we mentioned here. And for accessing each and every data, we use the row variable. So this is the row variable. By using that, we access the data. After fetching all the data, finally we close the function by using the close. Now we are going to see the output by using demo23.php. So here demo23.php. So here you can see admission number 1001, exam number 560, Abhinandan M. So open the MySQL. Here you can see first row. Abhinandan, my Chennai. See, there was no pin code number, there was no father number. In the same way, when you go for the second record is 103 Usman. So 103 Usman. So when you open next row, 1002 Usman, 1002 Usman, 1004 Daniel. So in the same way, all the records are accessed and displayed on the particular screen. For example, if you want to access only one record, then you can change the query here. So in query, we can give the condition called where class. So I'm going to give a where class condition. So here I'm going to give a condition where admin number is equal to 10001. So save. After the changing necessary, when you refresh the command, so here you see all the rows of the table of particular database. Now we are change the query statement, and after changing the query statement, when you refresh, you can see only one record, because here we mentioned the condition called where admin number is equal to 1001. If you change the value 1005, for example 1005, when you refresh the screen, so here actually what we are doing, we are accessing the SQL database data in PHP. So you can see there are two admission number, same number 1005. One is Devika, another one is Hema. So go to the MySQL, you can see there are two 1005 number. So here see 1005 Devika, 1005 Hema. So these data are accessed in PHP. MySQL data are accessed in PHP. This is the basic concept which we try to learn in this topic. How to use, how to manage, how to create connection, how to manage connection, how to send queries, how to close the program. So this is the end of the lesson. This is the end of the PHP programs. I hope you understand very well. So prepare very well. Prepare the question answers of all the book back questions and send them to my WhatsApp number. If you have any doubt, contact me through WhatsApp and clear your doubt. Prepare well for examination. Inshallah, we will do best to our examinations. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.